For the Tarot 888, this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, anywhere in your chart. Now let's see, Taurus. We got the Devil. We got too many cards. I saw Stagnant and the Devil. So you could be in this energy, or you might be feeling like, why isn't everything going right? It's not going to be for all of you guys, but for some of you guys, look. And what I'm being told is, are you really going after what you want? 33 when I said that. Or are you trying to follow, you know, other people in the same direction? You know, are you being guided, you know, without your will is what I'm hearing. Are you doing what you want to do? Like, are you listening to your intuition? For some of you guys, you could be at a point where you're about to speak up. Because you could be dealing with traditional, your family traditional beliefs. And for some of you guys, you're done with it. You're like, no. Some of you guys could be getting, you know, getting out of that stage of being a doormat. If you're married, if you're in a situation, long-term relationship, you basically feel married, or if you're not in that case. But if you are, or like I said, long-term relationship, you outgrew a particular person. Like, this person is not the same person that you might have met, and you probably too. But there's something about this relationship. You know, it's almost like you could be the breadwinner. You could be bringing in the money, and this particular person is dogging you, making your self-esteem, you know, lower and lower. And I feel like narcissist abuse, you know. So you may be at this point. Should I leave or should I not? Now, there's a lot of doors right here, and you may be intimidated on moving forward. 222 as we're saying this. So you may be seeing synchronicities, and you're being asked, what do you want, Taurus? What is it that you want? Like, when you speak to God or to yourself, like, what is it that you want? Like, put emotions behind it. Because you could be like, well, I don't think, and the universe is going to respond. God can see it all. You really don't want it. See, look, lost courage. It's upside down. This is determined. This is somebody like, I don't care what anybody. It's like that. I don't give a fuck at energy. Focused, determined, all determined. Like, you're right there, but it's upside down. So you have the ability to move forward, but you're needing to take, you know, charge. And for some of you guys, it's gonna mean leaving somebody behind. Leaving somebody behind. Because look, behind this door, you don't even see this coming, Taurus. Behind this door, look, you got the world. You got the world. Completion is like triumphant. This is you balancing your chakras. Your chakras. That could be your chakras, but this is your masculine and feminine energy together. And it's like both of you guys, or if it's another partner that you're wanting to go towards, this person's going to hold you down, and it's going to allow you to move. Like, this person is not going to be obsessive, jealous, but you are going to be tested. I keep hearing that, because you have to hold your own. Like, you have to be responsible for your own. Yeti. You have to be responsible for your own. Like, in the past, or whoever you're currently dealing with, it's almost like you feel bad from leaving this person. Why? For some of you guys, this person already left you. There was a heartbreak. Look, with the Three of Swords, this person was just waiting to crush you, but they wanted to crush you to the point where they were controlling you, manipulating, man or woman. Look, it just created a chaos, and this person hit you at your weakest moment, I heard. For some of you guys, you could have got out of character. You know, it was 3-party situation. Look, people were celebrating. And then with this Nine of Swords, accepting your past trauma. The good thing is, Taurus, for some of you guys, you accepted it. Like you told this person, fucker, you affected my trauma. So you could be on this healing journey, but this person could have got you out of character. For some of you guys, it just needed for you to step up. And it might have cost you if you went to jail. But for a lot of you guys, this is something you envision. Like, you're having a moment, like you could be daydreaming, like, oh, I'm gonna stand up for myself, and I'm gonna the universe is telling you, you don't even have to get to violence. I mean, if you got to protect yourself, of course, you know. But you could be in this Eight of Swords, self-doubt. And the self-doubt is you're not trusting in God, the universe. Look, the strength is upside down again. Needed self-reflection. Like there's no love there. Lumen and burned out. So you have this option by the end of July going into August, and I'm hearing the Lion's Gate. And the good thing is that when you trust in God, any of these doors, you'll have success. Why? Because you're taking action for what you want, for your calling. For some of you guys, this is going to put you into your calling, of what you're meant to do, and it's going to require you to be focused. You're not going to excel right away. You know, don't expect, you know, from one day to the other. Now, some of you guys will. All of us are on different timelines, but you have to be determined. Is there anything else for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Okay, that's too many cards. Look at this. Five of Wands, friction and conflict. Eight of Cups, stagnant. You don't want to be in this energy. Some of you guys, this is you bottling this energy and you're going within. But for some of you guys, you're going to challenge this particular person. And if you love this person, kind of overbearing. For some of you guys, you know, you could be in this energy, but it's almost like you're staying there for the kids. But you know, whatever you guys have wasn't built on a solid foundation, and some of you guys are gonna have to do it on your own. Some of you guys could have lost somebody at war, and you're having to do this on your own. For some of you guys, it's a child. If you're a male or a female, you could have lost a loved one at a young age. So you have, look, you carrying these burdens, and you're feeling like you can't be happy because this person is not alive, is what I'm hearing. And I know the feeling. You know, I know the feeling, but you're carrying other people's burdens as well. And it could be Taurus because, you know, you feel you could handle it. Oh, I'll take care of this. And I'm seeing you get to the point where you're like, you know what? Here's your plate. You're going to fast. You're going to say, I'm going on a fast. So you go and, like, if you were the one getting the food and everything, nah, I'm fasting. Oh, you don't have no food ready? Nope. And you're not going to even have to clash. It's going to be silent. You're going to control your emotions. You're not going to allow it to control you no more. Like, you're not going to give your power away. You're just going to say no. And this friction within, you're going to hold it tight. And once you release these burdens, because the 10 of Wands, man, I'm going to tell you from experience. You know, when you feel that betrayal, and you forgive, and they're so close to you, and you're like, all right, no, I forgive you. And some of them were like, oh yeah, we got Taurus back, you know. They're thinking because they wanted you in this emperor, man or female, you know, empress, but you know, you're back to this, but you're not getting off your seat unless it's worth it. You're claiming your power back, you know, and you bring this 10 of Cups. Lost in the past, it could have cost you a lot, and people could be lost in the past because you're not the same person. You could be quiet, you could be calm, but the good thing is you're dropping this. And when you drop this, because for some of you guys, you're still holding on. Yeah, I can do it. Taurus, the bull. Once you let this go and you allow the other people, whether it's family, a spouse, you don't have to leave them. You could just say, look, I'm doing this much. I work, you work, or whatever, but you're not gonna be responsible for nobody's emotions, nothing. And I feel, Taurus, for a lot of you guys, you could have helped this particular person, and they came at you like this, man or female. And you know what? Here's the Empress upside down. It's like, the minute they did that, they expected you to respond this way, but I feel like you didn't. Look, something, it's like their mask came out. Maybe in the past you were like holding it in, and you might at least, but you making their mask fall up. And I feel that you're gonna be more focused once you let go of these burdens. This is you healing the inner child. Is you don't even understand if you're not there yet, because you could be. I don't know, what are people gonna think? Because I know in the Latin community, you think, like when I started my healing journey, you know, I started to dig into it. I don't know why, but God was leading me to it. I didn't know this. I'm telling you, we're Latin, so my old man was like, ¿De cuál estás fumando, mijo? Del OG Kush de la buena. And we would laugh, and I said, no, for real. Because, they went through stuff too. But they handled the situation different. And you're the chain breaker, so you're doing things different. And some of you guys, if this is not their burdens, this is your burdens that you're carrying, and you finally let go of what a parent didn't come and protect you. It's like instead of getting their ass up and protecting you of whatever happened to you in when you were a child, it could have been, because they were family. Bullshit. For some of you guys, you don't play like that. But they had respect. But change, I'm hearing this. You ending that, you ain't sweeping shit underneath the rug, and they're scared. But once you release all these burdens that, and you express what you overcame, because for some of them, they don't want you to talk what you overcame, what happened to you, who did what. And you start to co-create with the universe. Hey, you start to co-create with the universe. And this is your inner child, man or woman, and this is you co-creating with the universe. And what you think, because in the past you could have been, look, more and more you were attracting more and more burdens. Because why? You were in this vibration. How am I going to pay the bills? Look, how are they going to look at me? What are they going to say about me? Should I get my ass up and kick their ass? You took things too personal. Now you're in this energy. You're hugging your inner child. You already went to war, man or woman. You went through spiritual warfare, and you're engaging with your inner child. And look, you're taking the steps to heal little by little, building a solid foundation within yourself. With the 7 of coins, look, fruits of your labors, and it's going to show. And look at this. You got the 8 of coins, your ancestors. This is them giving you the torch, you taking on the breaking the generational curses is what I'm hearing. But you acquire experience. This is nothing that you read, you experience it, and you're like, this is how you're going to heal. And some of you guys could be going into, like, back to school, going into being a lawyer, like helping other people. This is you helping, humanity, bringing justice. Because for some of you guys, it could have been, some of you guys couldn't speak out. Oppressed, I'm hearing. And look, you call judgment on this. And that's crazy, because for some of you guys, in 2020, when things were going on, what were you going to do in court? The courts were all jacked up, even up to 2023. So some of you guys didn't get a fair trial, or even, to go through the process. For some of you guys, because I know a few people that God told them, hold on, and they're the person that they were, getting accused. They thought they got away. And in other words, there was no charges, but the person didn't fight. And now the time is going the way God has this person fighting. All eyes turned around, and they're looking, and I guess whatever investigation is going on. But a lot of it has to do when you give it to God. And that's the hardest thing you could do, Taurus, sun, moon, rising, anywhere in your chart. Because you don't see, you expect the karma to hit right away, and it doesn't. The minute that you stop focusing on it and you put all your energy, your focus, and you bettering yourself, being on your purpose, healing, that's when karma visits them. It could visit them then. I'm hearing it's none of our business. And I say ours because including me, it's none of our business. I've always said it's none of my business. Even though I want to see, don't get me wrong, and it pisses me off. I'm human. But in reality, it's none of our business. I take my healing journey. I I take it serious. Like now that my kids are coming around, you know, and they're starting to see the BS, and they were little, so they were peeping game. They remember everything they were saying, how they would, you know, group up, the plot, the conspiracy, how they, you know, screwed me up. But when they screwed me up, they fucked themselves, because, you know, like the children, my kids basically telling me it's not the same. Yeah, in the beginning they were right there, and then all of a sudden everybody goes their ways, and then they're left alone. So now they're seeing the things, you know, and how things really went down, and they're not dumb. And, you know, I'll teach them, you know, to be honest. No matter if you do things wrong, you know, amárrese los amigos and take accountability. Because when you start, people that lie, they got to cover one lie, then the other lie, and then, you know, they just go south. So ever since I was little, it was, you know, I just told it like it is. Yeah, I fucked up. Okay, if I got to get an ass whipping, you know, when I was young, you know, but I wasn't going to lie. It was worth. So it says right here, this is the card that fell. It says, nobody's going to accomplish your goal. Stop with your excuses and make something of your life. See? So some of you guys, don't look back. Don't worry what they took. Focus and align with the universe, God. If you don't have, because I'm feeling for some of you guys, you could be in this energy where you don't have anybody. They've turned their back. Don't allow that energy or energetic with fear. Oh man, abandonment, I don't have nobody. Just trust. Go and do the little things, and you'll have, because some of you guys are going to have family, whether it's a parental figure, somebody close that's going to be wanting your forgiveness, and they're going to want you to come back so you can. They're not going to be 100% healed, but they feel guilty of how the people around them are seeing them, so they're going to want to cover it up. And you got to be smart and say, all right. And that it's almost like God twisting their arm in a way, and then you're secure there, and you start to grow, and you're gonna have to leave all the chitter chatter that you might get, and just keep aligned with God and keep your emotions in check, and watch how God starts to turn it around. Because trust me, some of you, this is gonna happen. You got, it's good, you know, because they don't want to look bad, but everybody knows. Remember who you are, a motherfucking superstar. So I would claim this. That's what I got for you, Taurus. For the Tarot 888, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment.